Flosstube. I'm Pam. Welcome to my channel, Stitching in the Land of Good Enough. Today is Tuesday, October 11th, and this is Flosstube number 75. Welcome! If you are finding my channel for the first time, this is a place where I talk about cross stitch, where I talk about some life updates, where I do some shop updates because I own a cross stitch store, and where I talk about birds because I love them a lot. And if you're returning, welcome back. I'm so glad you're here. Okay, today we're going to talk, I got a little bit of, maybe a lot of life update today, actually. We got some stitching, I got a little shop update, and a teeny tiny little amount of bird update. And now I realized all the things that I want to show you are like out of arm's reach. So I probably should have prepped that better. Okay, life update. I did not film a regular Flosstube last week. I did film a video, and we'll chat about that in a little bit, but I did not have it in me to film two videos. Not last Saturday, but the Saturday before, the shop was being covered by someone else. I had been closed the Friday. I ended up coming down with vertigo suddenly, on a Thursday at the shop. It was so strange. I've never had it happen before. And yeah, it laid me out for like 36 hours. So I feel like I've been playing catch up ever since. You know, when you're sick or you go away on vacation and then you come back and you're like, it's not worth it to be away. That's how it was. Not that I had a choice in the matter. I literally couldn't be vertical. I was horizontal for 36 hours. Making trips to the potty place was an adventure during that time period. And then it took several days after that before I felt comfortable like leaving my house, and I didn't drive for like a week. I don't wish that on anyone. I hope it doesn't happen again. I don't know why it happened. Who knows? Who knows why these things happen? But then I was all recovered and I had a fantastic week at the shop last week. And then on Sunday, this past Sunday, Scituate, Rhode Island every year has what's called the Scituate Arts Festival. So they've got artists that set up there and crafters, and there's food and there's music, and it's a good time. So we went and did that, my husband and I, on Sunday, and it has been ages since we have had like a date day. It was lovely, and the foliage is turning, and it was a crisp, sunny, beautiful day. It was gorgeous. It was like the perfect fall day at the perfect fall craft fair, and it was a good time. And then we followed it up. If you are local, to my local peeps out there, there is a new little like Italian bistro place that opened up down the street from my shop. Like you can see where I'm pointing. It's like right there. You can walk there from my shop. And it's called Cucina 38, and it's delicious. So we ate there after the arts festival, and it was a lovely Sunday. So then of course I spent yesterday doing all the errands and chores that I should have done on Sunday. And then lastly, for maybe my life updates are not going to be very long today. We're not even 5 minutes in. Super excited. First time ever. I got into StitchCon. Now I know I am hosting a large retreat next year in October, but that doesn't mean I don't want to go to retreats. So I'm so excited. I got into Weekend B. There's a few of us New England gals who are going to travel together, and I'm so excited. That's it. That's my life updates. There's not a whole lot that goes on in my life. So let's jump right into stitching. I have a finish. I have a project I'm always working on in the store. Because, you know, a stitch group, if it's slow and there's stitch group here, I want to be stitching. So I had been working on Red She Said by Hands On Design, and I finished. I stitched this on an 18 count Aida with 2 strands. So I don't remember which, oh, obviously A. So this is banner number 1 finished. Hold on. Banner number 2 finished. And then banner number 3 finished. I made a fairly large mistake in banner number 3. This light tan color is supposed to be all in here, but I messed up and I put this color in instead. I don't know. So it's a little darker than it should be, but there it is. So now I have to figure out how to fully finish it because I'm not crafty, but there is a tutorial video. I should be able to figure it out. I gotta pick out some fabric. So that meant new start for the shop. Put that like that. And I decided to do a little seasonal stitching, and I started Hocus Pocus by Luminous Fiber Arts. I love the eyes. I don't know, I think there's something about, I love this. So I'm stitching it on 28 count. I've got a dangling needle and thread. I don't know where you came from. Right there. Sometimes shop stitching needs to get stopped like mid-stitch. Okay, stitching it on 28 count, I think antique white linen. And I made a fairly good start. I'm gonna fold that over so you can see it better. So I outlined the moon because in my head I was gonna like outline it and then bring it to a retreat I'm going to in a few weeks and fill it in, and I may still do that. Oh, kids are going to school. I think this is gonna stitch up really fast. I have a mistake in the moon somewhere and I can't figure it out, so I'm fudging it. Something is wrong in here. I don't know. It's okay. It's not gonna matter. It's good enough. So this is delightful to stitch so far. I've only done like one night. And then I am hosting a stitch along for Rosewood Manor at Tiscata Tasket. I've broken the chart up into 15 pieces. If you want to see the 15 pieces, it's on my Facebook group, Stitching in the Land of Good Enough, which is, I always have the link down in the description box. And I decided to work on this section right here, that border. And then I'm going to try to get a section ahead this month and follow it up and get this done right here, like all of those botanicals. We shall see how that goes. I am stitching it 2/2 on a 32 count linen. And so here she is all together so far. I'm making some good progress. And this is what I worked on down there. And that was super easy because it was repetitive. And even though like the border is repetitive, it doesn't change. It's like so much color changing that it can get tedious after a while, where this was just nice, easy stitching. I enjoyed that. So then I'm gonna work on the botanicals. I might not get this other section done this month, but I'm gonna get a head start on it anyway. So I'm trying to get a few sections ahead so I can finish in a year instead of a year and 3 months. All right, that's that. And then I continued to work on Fall on the Farm. So this is almost like, it's a mini finish. So I'm gonna be stitching this whole series. It's Fall on the Farm by Little House Needleworks. There's 9 parts. This is part 1. I think it's called Farm Fresh. I'm gonna tell you right now, my back stitching is a little wonky and we're playing Good Enough and I don't care. I'm stitching it 2/2 on 32 count linen. and I finished part 1. It's so cute. So cute. So yeah, my backstitch letters are, they could be better, but we're just gonna go with it. Oh my gosh. It's so cute. I can't. I love this checkerboard tablecloth there. I had a good time with this. And I almost, and I'm glad I didn't, I almost was like, well, I don't have the chart for number 2 yet, but I can do the frame. And then I went and I looked at it online and I realized that the frame is not the same. So I'm glad I did not start stitching ahead. Because, you know, sometimes you do these like monthly series and the frames are all the same. So you don't have to worry, you can stitch ahead and you don't have to worry. Not the case with the Fall on the Farm. There are, I think, like 3 different frames. So I got to make sure that I get the second chart and go home with it tonight so that I can start. So I still have focus project number 2, which is going to be Glendon Places Sir Thomas. I don't have to start that till the 15th. So I have a few, I have a few more stitching days I can get done on Fall on the Farm. So I might start section 2. Because I'm afraid if I don't, like, I don't know, it'll feel like a better start if I get some part of the second pattern done than just doing the first one. I don't know. That's how it works in my head anyway. Okay, and then lastly for stitching, it's gonna be a fast video today. Lastly for stitching, and this is the 3rd year, I say this every time, I'm so repetitive, but just in case you're finding me for the first time. 3rd year, I'm doing a temperature pattern, and I'm doing Temperature Library 2 by Christie's Corner, and I am all caught up, which I got all caught up last night and I gave myself a little pat on the back. I'm stitching it on what I thought was 16 count Aida, but it might be 14 count Aida. And I now realize that I seriously may not have enough room. I might be cutting it super close at the bottom. I'm not gonna worry about it because these aren't, I haven't even showed you yet, but these are not getting framed. So this is the 3rd one I'm doing. I'm doing one next year. Plan on doing one forever and ever and ever until I can't stitch anymore. They're gonna go in a book. They're not getting framed and put on the wall. So they're gonna go in a book that I can flip through and look at every year, and the key is going to be next to them. So, you know, 300 years from now, if somebody finds my temperature library book and wants to know like what the accurate temperatures were for Pawtucket, Rhode Island in like 2022, they can look at my key and look at my books. Nobody is gonna be doing that. But in my head, that's how it's gonna work. Anyway, here she is. So this is October. I still have to fit November and December. I'm a little nervous. But even if it's like right at the bottom, it doesn't matter because it's just getting glued onto a page in a sketchbook. Okay, so anyway, this is October. We've gone a lot of green. It's gotten a little cool here in New England. I did that doodad last night, knick-knack. And I did that knick-knack. So all my knick-knacks are caught up because October's isn't till way down here. So I'm all caught up. I'm so pleased with myself. Can you tell? Okay. And that is my stitching. So that was 2 weeks worth of stitching. Now it doesn't look like a lot for 2 weeks because vertigo, no stitching. I had like 4 or 5 days where I couldn't get any stitching in. It was sad. All right, that brings us to, I have figured out, my birthday is next month, at the end of the month. I am a turkey baby. I was born on Thanksgiving at dinner time, at, turkey time. So I like to do a birthday start. Last year's birthday start was Glendon Place, Sir Thomas, which I'm still working on. And so I said to myself, all right, if you are still working on a big start, when the next year comes around and it's time to do another one of those starts, you should pick a small thing. So you're alternating. And then I did not. Although this is not enormous. There's a gal, hi Kristen, who stitches here on Wednesday nights. And she stitches these Carolyn Manning charts because she calls them like comfort stitching. And I'm like, ooh, I've never done one. And this is what all the months now where I've been like, ooh, maybe this will be my birthday start. Maybe this will be my birthday start. And then I pick something I haven't even showed you. I'm going with Bohemian Bliss by Carolyn Manning. I just think I've never done anything like this before, like a geometric full coverage situation. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm so excited. And there are a lot of these to choose from. I picked a few, since I was ordering one for me, I picked a few to bring into the shop, but I mean, I can't carry them all. There's so many. But if there's ever one that you want and you want to order it through me and I don't have it, let me know because I'll get it for you. But I chose this one. Let me show you the colors. Like they're so fun, especially this one right here. I love this color. I can't wait to start. I'm gonna stitch it on an Aida, and I say it's not big because I gotta find the. I'm also gonna have to probably put my eyeballs on. If you do it on 16 count, the finished piece is 11 3/4 by 11 3/4. So I mean, what is that? Like, it's smaller than, well, it's not smaller than that stitching, but it's smaller than that frame. If I do it on 18 count, it's 10.5 by 10.5. I mean, it's kind of big. Who am I kidding? It's kind of big. It's not enormous though. What I would call that is a medium, a largish medium. It's in the medium range, but on the large-ish end of medium. Does that make sense? And of course it's full coverage. So I mean, that's a lot of stitching. But I'm gonna do it on Aida, and she has you do it on like a pale yellow Aida. I don't know if I'm gonna have my fabric show when I frame it, or if I'm going to frame it all the way to the edges. And I don't have to decide that for years because this isn't getting finished anytime soon. And it's not even getting started for like a month and a half. But I think I might stitch it on, I have like a Witchholtz Water Lily, which is like in this range a little bit, more like this one. And I think that if I was having fabric show, that would be pretty. So I might go with that. And that I have that in 16 count. So maybe that's what but that's definitely not changing my mind now. That's what I'm doing. Okay. That is stitching done. Stitching and plans. Done. Check. Okay, shop update. Let me look at my notes because I know I'm going to forget to say something. In case you missed it, I am hosting a retreat, the Stitch New England retreat in October of 2023. I posted a video last Tuesday with all the details. So if you are finding this video for the first time and your little ears perked up, you're like, retreat? Oh my gosh, I want to know all about it. Go back and watch that video. It's like Flosstube Extra 2023 Stitch New England Retreat information. I don't remember the title, but it's the only one I have that says retreat in the title. Actually, I have no idea if that's a true story. But it's last week's video. And I have all the information posted on the website. So if you go to stitchnewengland.com and if you are finding me for the first time, my shop is called Stitch New England. I realized I probably should have mentioned that. But anyway, if you go to stitchnewengland.com at the top, if you're on a laptop, on the top, there's a little tab that says retreat info, and you click it and you'll see all the info. And I think on your like handheld devices, you have to hit the menu and then there'll be a section that says retreat info. Okay. Also, quickly on the retreat, if you are a cross stitch designer or a fabric or floss dyer or a doodad maker, and you are interested in sending a trunk show to me for the retreat, we're not having vendors, so it's going to be my shop and then trunk shows. But if you are interested in sending a trunk show, reach out to me through my email at stitchnewengland@gmail.com. And those links are always in the description box below. It's like right there, right below the video. I'm getting a kick out of pointing to something that I can't see, but that you can. Okay. My favorite things in the shop right now. Every month, with the exception of the swans, which I didn't love when they first came out, but have now since grown on me. I love every month. I'm like, ooh, this is my favorite. I love this beaver. I don't know why I'm yelling. I'm sorry. Because I'm excited about the beaver. I love cottage garden samplings. Like, look at that tail. Look at his cute little face. That's where he lives, because that's not, most of these have had a cute little house that I think I'd want to live in, but this looks more like a house that the beaver lives in and not me. Super cute. And then I'm getting kind of into the holiday spirit. I feel it's so funny. The fall charts and like the Halloween charts started rolling out in August, and now we're in October, and all the holiday patterns are getting released. There's something about this one. It is Christmas Redwork Sampler by Frog Cottage Designs. I think it's the font in this Merry Christmas. But I'm not even into alphabet samplers, and I'm honestly not even a Redwork sampler person. But I don't know, it's the simplicity of it. Maybe it's the trees. I like this one. This is my fave of the week. And then also, I'm also not one of these chalkboard stitchers, but again, this is All Is Calm by Shannon Christine. There's something about this one. The glitzy little ornaments. Maybe it's the pastels. I am drawn to the pastel-y kind of Christmas palette, which is funny because at home it's not like that. But every time I see decorations in this sort of color palette for the holidays, I'm always drawn to it. And then I think, oh, I'd have to like overhaul everything that we decorate with at Christmas time. And I'm like, no, I can just look at it in the store. Although maybe I should overhaul it. Last year, I still had some of my decor out, but like 4th of July, I was packing it away. This year I'm not putting as much stuff out because you know when you decorate, there are certain things that like you love. My parents, for a few years in a row, I have four younger sisters, so for a few Christmases in a row, she gave us all, you know, those carolers that look like they're like Victorian dressed, and their little mouths look like they're singing, and they stand on their own. They've been around for decades. I'm sure you've seen them. So she got my sisters and I carolers every year so that they were our family. So I have 5, and I have a sister who was like 3, maybe 4 now. So those go out every year. Those go out every year. And then I have a manger that my grandfather made me that goes out every year. So those will go out, and we'll put up a Christmas tree, but maybe that's it this year. I gotta be realistic. I don't have a lot of time these days. Okay, what the heck was I talking about? We were doing faves of the week. Where are we now? Super important, if you are planning a trip to the shop, I am going to be closed. I'm doing a half a day on Thursday, November 3rd, I believe that the shop is going to close at 1 p.m. on November 3rd. And then it will not open again until the following week, Wednesday. So I'll be closed the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, November 3rd, half a day. I'll be closed November 4th, and I will be closed November 5th. I'm going to a retreat, stitching at the farm in Troy, New Hampshire, and I'm looking forward to it. So I will not be here. So if you are planning a trip to the shop, I'm hoping I'm giving you enough advance warning that I will not be here. And then when I return, the first day back, Wednesday, November 9th will be the first day of in-person registration for the retreat, for my retreat, Stitch New England 2023. All right, where are we now for time? All right, we're gonna be under 30 minutes. Bird update, I don't have a lot to talk about. I don't have a whole lot going on at my feeders that's new and exciting. Except yesterday, I was sitting out on my back porch watching the birds. There was a whole like starling and grackle situation happening. They were actually very fun to watch because they're super noisy and annoying at my feeders, but they weren't hanging out at my feeders because my dogs were in the backyard, which was making them a little skittish. But they do that thing where like they're super noisy up in the trees and they all fly down into my neighbor's backyard feeder, not mine. And then something startles them and they all fly up into the trees together and they get really quiet. They're fun. Annoying, but fun as long as they are not at my feeder. But what was not skittish about the dogs in the backyard was this little bird that flew down out of nowhere and was like pecking along the ground. And I'm like, what is that? It looks like it should be a sparrow, but it doesn't look like one I recognize. It was, I haven't had one of these in my backyard before. It was a white-crowned sparrow. It was very cool because their heads have this like white and black stripe situation going. It was very vibrant. And normally I have like little house sparrows in my backyard and the males have like white and some black and stuff going on, but it's like, this is not a male house sparrow. Nope, it was a white-crowned sparrow and they are not, they don't hang out in my area very often. They winter down south and they breed up north, and my backyard currently is in their migratory path. So they are migrating right now north to south, and I had one in my backyard. So that was very exciting. Okay, that's it. That's all I have. I want to make sure I'm not forgetting anything important. I don't think I am. All right, so I will see you all next Tuesday. In the meantime, I hope that you are happy and healthy and safe and that you are getting lots of stitching in. And I will see you all next week. Bye, everyone.